Chauhan. I'm the founder and CEO of .NET. I welcome to everyone to our master class, How to Get High Paying Job in Coding as a Fresher. So today let's welcome to our speakers. So we having here Vabna Gunwani ma'am, who is a corporate trainer and mentor in .NET and Scholarhead. So welcome, Meg.
Thank you, Shailendra. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hi Satish.
Hi,
So we
Shailendra.
have, yeah. So we having another speaker today. We having Satish Kumar Malhotra sir, who is HR manager and project manager in ATCS. So welcome sir in this
Thank
master
you.
class.
Thank you very much, Shailendra.
Yeah, welcome. And we having the Tushar Singhal sir, who is an engineering manager in Zscaler. So welcome sir. Can you check your mic, sir? I think we cannot hear you. Tushar sir.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Shailendra, and thank you, everyone.
So guys, this is a open discussion forum. So what are the query you have, you can ask through the chat. So chat window is available. You can keep asking the queries. So before starting the master class, today I'm excited to share a one more news with you. So we are going to start a new e-learning platform, Scholarhead. So this platform we have designed to close the skill gaps between the industry demands and the college students. Here you will learn by doing the code, live coding you will do with the mentors, and building the real world projects. Here all the program we have designed as per the industry skill needs so that you will be a job ready developer. So this is about the scholar hat. I just told in brief. In upcoming discussion, we will keep discussing about the scholar hat. So let's start the session here. So let me look at the chat. Okay, so we having the first question for the today session. Let's say how much salary a fresher can expect if he is looking for a .NET developer. I'm sharing the question on the screen. I hope you can see. So Shrikant Mishra is asking about how much salary one can expect as a .NET developer. S- So Shrikant, let me answer your query. So if you're looking for a job as a .NET developer, so it depends upon what are the skill set you having. Let's take the example of in the .NET you are a backend developer. So as a backend developer, you should know first of all the C sharp, SQL Server. You should know the ASP.NET Core or MVC. Then what are the industry having the salary range around that you can get it. So when it is coming to a salary range of the industry for the backend developer is for the fresher is it's come under 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. But again, it depends upon what are the skill set you having. So before taking the question from the live from the people, we actually collected the few set of question from our already students. So let's start the discussion for those set of question. I hope it is fine with everyone, right? But before taking the question further, I request to everyone, please introduce yourself. Just tell them in brief. Let's say what are the role and responsibility you having, whatever you are doing in your company, so that the student having the information about your role and responsibilities. I'm right.
Yeah.
Yes, Satish sir. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Shailendra. Thank you very much for .NET Tricks also for providing this platform. Actually, myself, anyways, people have known my name now, Satish Malhotra, and I'm working as a HR head in ATCS, which is basically a Nagaro company. So I think most of the people know about the Nagaro, very global brand. So we are one of the business unit of Nagaro, and I'm working as a HR head for their Jaipur chapter, where we have almost 1,000 people in the Jaipur chapter in the Jaipur branch, and I'm taking care of all the folks. I'm involved into HR compliance, talent acquisition, and learning and development department, having a responsibility of execution end to end, which includes the audits, the compliance, the talent acquisition processes where we do the campus hirings, we do the lateral hirings. So all those things are the part of my subjects, my part of my roles and responsibilities. So this is me, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Satish, to introduce yourself and let us know your role and responsibilities. Yeah, Tushar sir, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, sure. Yeah, thank you, Shailendra. And first of all, congratulations on launching this very innovative platform, Scholarhead, and I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. So, yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tushar Singhal, and I am into IT industry for almost 15 years now. And I mean, even before IT industry, right, just right from engineering, we all get into this, coding and all that stuff. I have been into the same thing as you are, but now, right now, I'm working as an engineering manager in quality engineering department at Zscaler Softtech. Zscaler is the number one cloud security provider right now, and my day-to-day responsibilities include assuring that the best products go out to the customer's hand, and for that a lot of things go into this. I mean, right from coding, ensuring that things are going smoothly, interacting with a lot of stakeholders across the company, dealing closely with the customers, and very important part is I've been very crucially involved into the hiring part, right from hiring from the freshers, sometimes being part of the college hiring activities, to lateral hiring where experienced professionals directly join us. So this has been a journey I have been through, and right now at Zscaler. Prior to Zscaler also, I have had an opportunity to work with another cybersecurity companies like Norton, Symantec, FireEye into the threat intelligence group of that. Few startups as well into the cybersecurity domain, which is Securonics, and briefly into robotic process automation as well. So different areas I got an opportunity to explore and learn from those experiences. I'm sure this is something that you know I've been really opportunity. I had good opportunity to work with all these companies, and really my experience is good. So, and I'm really thankful for Shailendra that he invited me and got an opportunity to interact with you all. Thank you, Shailendra.
Yeah, thank you, Tushar sir, for introducing yourself. So, yeah, Bhavna Gunwani ma'am.
Hello everyone, Bhavna Gunwani this side. Thanks Shailendra and congratulations to everyone for this new beginning. So basically, if I talk about my journey, myself corporate trainer, I help basically dedicated developers and upskills upcoming developers to take their coding skills to the next level. I love to share my knowledge with them, and basically, I love teaching, so that's completely my passion. And it's my mission to take coding and software engineers accessible to everyone. Having more than 12 years of training experience, I'm handling multiple technologies. Majorly, I'm handling Microsoft technologies, and I'm certified on few of them. Apart from that, I also conduct sessions for front end technologies and BI technologies as well. So basically, not only the training, I also take a project level enhancements where people work onto their real time projects and they stuck somewhere and they need experts help itself. So that level of training, lateral batches, I generally take. So basically, I have conducted both technical and corporate programs, and Shailendra is one of them who keeps conducting sessions for me as well. as in public batches, and I do take it for private clients like Infosys, IBM, Dell, Deloitte, and number of clients, I should say. So here I am to support this Scholarhead and share my knowledge with everyone on a public platform, because I really want that the real time exposure is very important. What we actually give it to the client, what they work as a real time. Our core campus people or big beginners should also know their enhancement at what level they can reach, and they can work onto the real time projects. Thank you so much, Shalendra.
Yeah, thank you, Abna. So we having another speaker as well, Seema Bharadwaj ma'am. Yeah, welcome back. So Seema Bharadwaj ma'am, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, a very good afternoon to everybody. So, it is congratulations, Shailendra, for this new venture you have started. And we have earlier been collaborating with different models with Shailend and .NET Trick. So, it's great for this new beginning. Okay. So myself, Seema Bharadwaj, the director and co-founder of Fusion Stack India division. So basically, Fusion Stack LLC is our parent company, which is situated in Louisiana, United States. And we have been working since last 10 years on with the government and the state government of USA, so St. James Parish, Louisiana, and we have been delivering different products related to law enforcement and business intelligence, also related to property assessments and all those. There are different other domains on which we work, and we deliver the quite good bit of work which needs to be delivered to the client. The police, the law enforcement department use the e-warrants. That is the main thing, that within 10 minutes all the warrants and everything gets processed. So this is one of the main product what we have. And we as in India, we work with the US clients, and we just ensure that we give a good product and good quality software to them. Even we'd work on the mobile development, and that's what from my side. Anything?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for
Yeah,
introducing yourself
yeah.
and letting us know about your business in brief. Thank you very much. So, guys, as I said here, it's an open discussion. So everyone can ask the queries, whatever you having here. I'm just going to pick up the set of question, whatever we are getting on the chat. So as I listed down some set of question, like, this is a question to everyone, because I know you are involved in hiring, especially Satish are involved in there, and as a Tushar sir also you are involved over there for hiring the people. So this is a common question like everyone is having, like when you are looking for, when somebody is going to be approached for a job in your company, so what can be the skill set actually you're looking for inside a fresher? So this is a common question that every fresher is having. Let's say what he should learn, what can be the career path he can decide to get a job.
Sure. Yeah, maybe I can, I can give my take on that.
Yeah,
That's a very
please sir.
good question, actually. As a fresher, we all have that anxiety that what will make me fit for this role or fit for a particular company, and what skill sets do I need to have. There are people who think about, should I pursue, there are different career paths. Which career path should I pursue? Should I start with? So all these things come together, and the question is, how should I prepare? So one thing, since I have been associated with the hiring teams, very closely work with different recruiters and with different colleges also, we interact. So one thing that we really look for is, firstly, how do you build your resume? So firstly, people, one thing that I have perceived is, we tend to write a lot of things in our resume sometimes just to make it, get it shortlisted, but our real careers, our real skill set is little different than that. So if we can be, identify certain things that are really, key ingredients, and put them and highlight them, and it should really reflect what we really know, not just everything, right? So first thing is about the resume, keeping it honest, keeping it crisp, and sometimes highlight what really you have achieved as a project in your college, whatever you have done, or as a fresher if you have been part of internships, do highlight about those things. In terms of skill, when I say the core skills, I think are the key role player these days that we look for, or I mean that I have seen people looking for. So we are learning good technologies, our resume goes strong, but most of the candidates do not, sometimes are not able to perform well in the key algorithm or the problem solving part. For example, they say that someone says that I am, really good at web development, or I'm really good at so many different things, but always brush up your key things, like, the ability to solve, pick any programming language that you feel you're comfortable with, be good in the basic structures, basic data structures, and basic algorithm solving. It need not be super, super expert level, but at least the medium or the average level, at least those things you should definitely be confident about. And the key, the basically the bit, know about the current tools and technologies that are going on, know about what trends are going on in those areas, have some understanding about databases, definitely, because SQL databases, no SQL databases, if you're not expert, at least have an awareness of basics. So giving a width of things, having a, correct set of understanding around the basic things around, as I just mentioned about the cloud concepts, you must be aware of why AWS, even if not about exact details of AWS, but why one would really go for AWS, what advantages it brings to us. So once you come to these areas, and you have a, lot of skill set, you are aware about a lot of things, then it really becomes, once you are assimilated into the company or industry, to train you is very easy. So coachability is the one important aspect that it all forms around you once you are aware of small things and you're really good at basics. So that's my take on it, and I would really request opinions from our different people.
Yeah, it's a good point. When it somebody is looking for the job change, let me brief it about it. So that person should be good logically. At least you should know the data structure things. What are the uses of the commonly used algorithm we having over there? You should know how we can write the program using the loops and various other things. And be honest, whatever actually you know well over there. If you have done an internship, great project, do mention them. What was your role over there? What are the things we having over there? So that at least you can showcase your skill set whenever you are in the interview things. Yeah, thank you, sir. Even the same question I'm asking from the Satish sir as well. What is your take on the same things?
I'm audible now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
audible.
yeah, thank you very much. So, like, what exactly? We always focus on the technical aspects, right? Like the people should be good at technology where they would like to create a career. But the another most important fact which generally people ignore or they don't focus on that, which is basically the attitude.
Hmm.
Like let me just tell you the recent example of doing the campus placements, right? So when we have visited in one of the good engineering college, then we found that the students are good. We have taken all this, top class students for the interview and everything. They were very good at technology. They were very good at academics. But when it comes on the attitude, when it comes on the zeal to learn new things and adopting the new environment and keeping calm and composed and down to earth to learn, they lack that, right? The fact is that wherever you are going, that company is going to give you the opportunity to, because if you are a fresher, then company also knows that you are a fresher, and company will train you or will give you an environment to understand the projects or technology, the way of working, the environment, the culture, everything. So the first 3 4 months, every organization understands that okay, the person is fresher, he will take at least 3-4 months to understand the culture, understand the, even though you are good at .NET. Like I have seen one of the questions somebody has asked that what we study or what the project we make in our trainings, right? There is a huge difference in the project what companies do in their practical life, right? So anyways, you are going to learn the technology, the way how company works. But the problem occurs when the people are not grounded, when the people are not ready to accept the change, when the people are not having an attitude of learning. Like in this year, when we have done our appraisals, right? So the people who have joined just 3 months back or 4 months back in the
Mhm.
campus drive, I was very surprised. We have hired freshers on the package of 5 lakhs, right, in Jaipur branch, which is, I think, a decent package to start with, right? And after 4 months, there was an appraisal cycle, and after 4 months, they also got a appraised salary. So
Okay.
within because of the process, because
Mhm.
anybody who is into the system, they need to get that, and as per the policy, they got that. And now, if somebody is getting say 50,000 as an increment, right, and we are getting emails or we are getting messages, being a HR, that I'm not satisfied with my appraisal. I mean, when we hear this line, then we understand that, come on, guys, just 3 months or 4 months or 5 months back, you have joined. You could not understand even what the environment is going on. You are just understanding learning on the salary of 5 lakhs. And on the top of it, if we have given you a 50,000 rise, just after working 3 or 4 or 5 months, right, then you are not satisfied. And when it comes on the learning, then some people are, if they learn very few things, right, they think that they have learned everything. So my, being a HR, my problem is that, and I think some people agree on this point also. If you don't know technology, it's okay. I'm telling you that, because companies having infrastructure, companies having training departments, companies having sources, tools, trainers, they will teach you. Technology can be taught. Even though after getting job into it, you can enroll yourself on .NET tricks and get the .NET training. You will be trained on the projects. But if you are not having a right attitude, if you are not having a right perception towards your growth, and you are not into the acceptance mode and gratitude mode, then I think it is going to be very, very problematic. That is my, I'm taking every conversation, this entire conversation, to a different track. But the fact is, this is the recent experiences what we have seen. So this is my thought.
I got your point. So you are willing to say, if you are uh, going to be hired by some company, so initially you should be focused on the learning the new skill set,
Yeah.
knowing the what is going on in a company, what is the way of doing the project in a company. You should learn that corporate skill. I understand everyone should learn that one. If you are not going to learn that one, so how you will grow in your career, in your position? Because ultimately tomorrow you would be the leader in the same organization. So sometime it happens, I understand, sir. Even the same thing I just suggest in our training program as well. If sometime the people having so many confusion, sir, my interview went well, but sometime they didn't hire me. So sometime I also told them, figure out, you have you done any attitude things in the interview. So make sure you are down to earth. You are not doing any such activity where the people are thinking you are not fit for us. Let's say you don't have the zeal to work at. So this is also the valid point. Thank you, sir. The same question I'm asking from the Seema ma'am as well. What is your take?
Okay, thank you, Shailendra. So I have been interviewing from last 5 years to freshers and experienced also. So I completely agree with Satish sir. Okay, so we have faced each and every kind of people what we had interviewed, and I see that there is a lack of eagerness to learn the thing. And what we expect, as far as my company, I can say you, I do not say that you should be pass in all the subjects in your graduates. You might have few backlogs, okay? Second thing is, you might not have achieved good marks in your academics. That is also good. But whatever practical things you have done in your final year, third year, till second year, we do not understand what we are doing. Okay. After third year, sixth sem, we start understanding what we are doing. And then final year goes in all the projects and everything. But whatever they are doing, at least they should understand that what they are doing, and they need to have a in-depth understanding. Whatever they are doing, they are able to explain that in their interviews at least. Okay. So if you do not answer a definition in oops concepts, that is also fine. But whatever you have concepts you have applied in your projects, that is very important. And that shows that you are eager to learn something, you are serious about doing something in your life. Okay, that is one of the key factor what we think. Okay. So whenever we ask, we just see that what you have done in your past and what is your role and responsibilities into it, because they have group of 5 people and few people work, few people do not work. Okay. So the name just goes in 5 people. Okay. So that is one of the thing that you should have in-depth understanding, practical knowledge what you have. You might not be very excellent in all the theoretical concepts, but you should be good at that. Okay. That is what we expect at the fresher level. We do not expect that you must be master in all, you must know each and every technology, what is going on, latest technologies. So we do not expect as a fresher, we cannot give the pressure also on the freshers, because that pressure level is also there. But attitude and acceptance level and the tolerance level should also be there, because
I
in the initial phases when you are learning, the people who are teaching you or training you, they might be getting aggressive sometimes, may scold you sometimes that you are not performing. But there must be a tolerance level at some stage, and they should be eager to learn and understand what is the motive behind the training the technology. Okay. So that is what the thing is required, basic things are required.
yeah, thank you, ma'am. We having a one more important question. Let's say some fresher having a query. Does communication skill matters in order to become a developer and in order to get hired? Do you think the communication matters? Yes, Satish sir. I want to.
So,
Mm,
like, what to say on this question actually? Because like if the person cannot express, nowadays everyone is talking about agile and Scrum, right? So now, if you will look at the Scrum team structure, being a certified Scrum master, because I also come from the technology background,
mhm.
right? And so if you will look at the Scrum teams, then everyone's contribution is very important. The entire team is presenting to the client on every review meetings, and when they are doing the sprint plannings, when they are doing the retrospectives, when they are doing the daily Scrum or stand-ups, everyone needs to explain, everyone needs to speak, right? So this is not the matter of language. Again, when somebody is asking that communication means English language, again I'm just telling you that maybe if you are not working into the very global culture where multiple culture people are working together at one roof, if you are not into that environment, then I think your Hindi will also work. I'm telling you that is a true fact, right? Until unless I'm not interacting with somebody who does not understand the Hindi language. So in the day-to-day life, you will see that people are, speaking 70% Hindi and 30% English, until unless they are not presenting or they are not, working with the client, right? So the important thing is people cannot express actually, despite language. Keep your language aside. right? If you will ask somebody to speak on the issues or the challenges what someone is facing in the coding or in the task, people are not able to express it even in their own language, and that is the communication gap. That is the challenge in the communication. So despite a language, first can we express ourselves with our all emotions, with our all challenges, with our all happiness and sorrows in our own language or not, right? That is a major challenge. Everyone is focusing on making the English language sharp, but the problem is the sentence creation in the Hindi language or the native language, whatever language is not correct. Then how would you think that somebody will come with a very strong and extraordinary English language skills, right? So communication, without communication, I mean, there is a one line: communication is the key. Without this, getting success nowadays, I mean, and again, I'm not talking about the language, right? It's almost impossible.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your thought on that one. I come to the same question with Tushar sir. What is your take on this question? So, do you
Yeah,
think
firstly,
that this thing matters?
yeah. So yeah, I would firstly, Satish, whatever you mentioned, sir, it's not, it is not to be confused with language. So, we really see that people are just thinking that speaking good English means what takes, but it's not just verbal language, right? So sometimes when we think, know your audience, when you, for example, in your interviews, it's not like ad hoc, like suddenly at an hour of the day, you will suddenly get a call and you will be start interviewing. No, you will get some advance time. So, and there is a specific set of things that you can always expect that interviewer will take. For example, no interviewer is going to start the interview without knowing you. So they will really ask you like, introduce yourself or tell me something about your work. So we can always, give some thoughts to preparation. We can have some notes with us, that we can prepare. And even once you get into the company, the question was like, how does it help as a developer or to become a great developer? So while we are into an organization, like, and then what are certain things that are required is tell things, the work that you have done. You have to understand the documents from others. So it's more around written communication as well, the ability to present. So take your time. I mean, if you think that language is something that you are stuck with, take your time. And as as Satish very rightly pointed out, which lot of communication happens in Hindi. Sometimes I can tell you from my experience with my India team, throughout the day we speak 70 or 80% of the time in Hindi, unless someone from our South India team joins. And when we are in our US timing meetings, that time we usually converse in English throughout the time because that's required. But having your day-to-day communication, articulating your thoughts right, having your conversation well practiced. If you want, you can take a help of notes. You can create a email writing is also communication. So if you if you think you are more comfortable taking your own time, putting your points into a perfect email, do that. In a meeting, if you really feel that because of hesitation or lack of time you could not express well, always you can take help of slowly you can take help of rewriting something that maybe this point was missed that I wanted to make. Is it perceived correctly or not? This is what I meant. Or reach. So these are other the tools that you can take. For example, presentations, having the proper slides. So presentation is not to write everything on slide and read everything over there. You can write over there so that you remember things that you want to speak and take it to your advantage. So definitely communication is an important pillar. But yes, communication is something that you can easily practice and prepare. And preparation is the key that I would say that can easily help us come over it. Yeah. Thank you, Shalim.
Yeah, thank you, Tushar sir. The same question I'm asking from Bhavna as well. I know you are involved to train the people who actually hired by the corporate. So do you think you speak over there completely in English when you're giving the training to those people, or how they communicate with you when they are trying to understand a technical things, a technical perspective when we're explaining? So do you think so in that case?
Yeah, so basically, my point is when we come to this question, communication is one thing, and communication skills, that's another thing. As Satish sir rightly said, conveying a right message, what's running on through their minds, is very important. Some people are really not sure what they wanted to speak, what they wanted to ask, what they wanted to convey, what doubts they have in their mind. So that is one thing, there is a lack of communication. If that is clear, language is not a barrier. Because uh, I belongs to North India. When I go for the South India sessions for sections for the trainings, so they only know English and their native language. So we have only two options, and sometimes their English is, I can't tell you in words. They are not ready to explain their way, the way we wanted to understand as a North Indian people. But yes, sometimes few people are very good in asking their questions, so that we can rightly, help them out and we can help them grow itself. But few people just break the words, and they are not able to explain even what's running in their mind. It's a problem. So that's rightly said. Communication is the key to share their views and help next person to understand, and rightly implementing what they really wanted to help them out in their career itself. Whether they are trainers, HR people, interviewers, any aspects I'm talking about. Language is, again, I'm saying, not a barrier. They can speak in English, they can speak in Hindi, they can speak in any language, native language. But the way to express their, what's running in their mind, what's doubts they have, what questions they have, they wanted to clear out, is very important.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavna, for sharing your experience of delivering the training. There is a one more question the people commonly having. If let's say there is a student that might not be good in the coding side, but he is willing to make a career in IT. So, what you will suggest? Do we have the option in the IT? He can be the part of the IT company. So, what can be the role over there? Yes, it is, sir. So, I'm sure you not hire everyone as a full stack developer, let's say backend developer. You might having some others people as well who might not be good in the coding, so they might be doing some other activity. So, what can the role you can suggest for those people?
See, actually, in the technology, definitely only coding is not one aspect or one career option, right? Nowadays, if you will look at various roles like Scrum Master, this Scrum Master role is something who is handling the team, but knowing technology is not the compulsory part of that role. Similarly, testers. Nowadays, earlier we used to say that testing is something what people can do, but nowadays because of the automation testing in picture, people needs to write a code into Selenium or other sort of tools in Java or JavaScript language. So nowadays the testers also writing the code, right? So if somebody does not want to write a code, then I think the business analysis part where the requirement gathering phase happens, and the BA profiles, business analyst, which is nowadays moreover turned into a Scrum Master role, right? That is the main area which is important for non-tech, or I should say that non-coding profile. That is one of the requirement which every project or every technology company has. Apart from that, what I see that not only in the technology, but also there are other departments where the people require the technical skills. Like for example, the coordination into the PMOs, right? So the PMOs are the project management organization in the companies where people need somebody who are good at documentation, right? People are, so they utilize those resources into the project to write down the documentation for audit perspective. Then, as quality. So in the quality, when it comes on the audits, in terms of the certifications, then people are asking the technical educated guys, but there is a moreover the documentation, or mapping the compliances, rather writing a code, right? So I believe like BA profiles, Scrum Master profiles, manual testing profiles, or QA profiles, certifications, audit certifications profiles are the profiles which are required for almost zero coding.
Yeah, right, Satish sir. So what about the DevOps engineer? I think the people are also interested nowadays to become a DevOps engineer, especially one not good in the coding side. Do you think so they can fit into this role?
See, there are two aspects, to be frank, right? Everyone is talking about DevOps in industry in terms of learning perspective. So if you want to go for a learning perspective, then this is the propaganda that there's a no need of coding or something like that. But the fact and the reality is, if I'm running a project and if I'm having a Scrum team, right, then I would be having a one developer who is writing the code, who knows in and out of the entire project, and he is responsible for production life. Now, the production line needs to be done with a versioning model, with a CI/CD technique. So it is expected that my developers should understand the Kubernetes, right? And he should understand that how to, publish the code, in the project. Now, having said that, if I'm not into an organization which is having very very large size projects, like if you talk about the very big brands where the hundreds of people are working, there we may think that there would be a dedicated DevOps engineer who will not be responsible for coding. But I believe that most of the cases, like I should say 60 or 70% companies are a mid-size or small size organizations with 100 or 200 or 500 or 1000 capacity, right? There, the expectation from coder is that he or she should also know the DevOps things, right? So that he can publish the code. So if somebody is only thinking about DevOps, then yes, but then he is limiting his scope to enter into the small or mid-sized organization, right? And then he will be only having a choice of enter into a big brands, right? Uh, like in our company in Nagaro, we have almost 16,000 people globally, right? So we have that sort of projects where we have a dedicated DevOps team. But there again, we are not focusing on freshers. There we would be considering like the person should be experienced because it is a specialization. So that becomes always challenge. And if you will look at all the experienced DevOps folks, if you will look at their profile, they all are, almost all were in the past developers, and then they translated or they converted completely into DevOps engineer into their later career of, say, after 3 or 5 years of experience. Now they are experienced DevOps developers. But as a fresher, if you start, then getting a job into DevOps area may be tricky, and this is my thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel this is what it is. I feel.
Yeah, thank you, Satish sir, for sharing your take on the DevOps engineer as well. I will come to the Tushar sir as well. What is your thought on this one?
Yeah,
Especially for those people who are not good in the coding, this is the question they expect. They should need to know what are the profile they having, what are the let's say the DevOps engineer one, whether they can go over there or not.
yeah. I think a lot of roles covered already. In addition, you people can also take path around right. Once the code is developed, what happens after that? So IT industry is not just about developing code. So once it is developed, what happens after that? It follows a very, in an organization, you would see almost 60 or 70% of the population who are not really developers. So that means there is a lot of scope. So once software is developed, DevOps is one part of it, right? That how it goes out. with how the build system works, how the ready to ship product is. But after that, a lot of things come into picture, like cloud operations. For example, industry is moving to cloud. Like, how does your operations team ensure that their system, once your customers are up and running with your software, is the service is up and running? It requires great set of technical skills, definitely. But does it require coding? Probably coding may not be your the key skill. It has to be your side skill always. For example, you should understand what, if someone is talking in the coding terminology. But if you are able to understand what is being going on, what product architecture speaks about it, then probably knowing that, you can, these options are open. System administrator, the people who can service the things. uh, so these kind of roles are also open over there. So definitely coding is not just the key skill, but staying completely away from coding is also not going to help. It may be, or definitely, a side skill that if someone is talking about loops, you cannot say that I don't know what it is. If someone is talking about deployment of the software, you cannot be completely away from what it is. If someone is talking about databases, even if you're not good at database queries, but what to expect from databases is something, everyone in the IT industry needs to know. And so that's where I say that, yes, understanding the coding concepts is good. Being very good at coding, probably you still have a lot of options, as as just discussed into this discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Tushar sir, for sharing your experience on this one. I'm having a one more thing. If hire maximum uh, full stack developer, backend developer, or let's say, are you hiring only for cloud engineer path? Because so many questions the people having around that one. Should I become a backend developer? Should I become the front end developer? Should I become the full stack developer? Should I become the a cloud engineer? Asima ma'am, if you can share, let's say some percentage, let's say what is the percentage you hire as a backend developer, what are the percentage you hire as a front end developer, so this one will give you the insight. Let's say what are the number of jobs maximum we having. Okay, because nowadays we having machine learning and AI also the trendy, uh, the technology. So if you can share us how many the AI engineer and the ML engineer you have hired in last 5 years and the last 3 years, what are the plan you having for the upcoming years to hire them? So it will give them a idea whether should I prepare for the path of backend developer, front end developer, full stack developer, cloud engineer. It's about deciding a path.
So basically, Shailendra, we have hired only full stack developers. So,
Okay.
so we are only hiring the full stack developers in that case, and whether it be a mobile developer, iOS, Android, or it will be a web development. So, uh, my motive is to till now, whichever number we have hired, we have n number of people hired on full stack, and in future also we would like to have, but we would like to have the speciality also based on who is the UI developer, who is the UI UX developer, and also we would like to have somewhat on the machine learning side also. Okay. So cannot give you the exact number right now, but a good bit of openings we still have.
Hmm. No, no, I'm not asking about the exact number. I'm just asking the percentage. What is the percentage you hire?
Okay, so in this, the percentage till now we had hired 100% developers are full stack developers, and in future we will have 50% as full stack developer, and remaining will be distributed in the 50% under the UI UX, and we have the backend developer.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Simon. Yes, Satish sir, do you have any thought on this one?
See, actually, we have all sort of requirements. I mean, this is not like always a full stack developer will work. We have a lot of teams who are only specialized into database, where they are only working on the Oracle or SQL Server or Postgre. We have on the other teams where people are only good at Swift language, or Objective-C, but and then we have another teams where they are only working on the React or the only Angular. They don't know about the backend, right? So they are not writing the server-side code. So it depends on the project to project needs, needs, and anyways, the in which technology the company is exploring the business. That is also very important. So but somewhere you need to start as a one specialization, and then gradually you become a full stack developer. Like if I'm good at C sharp and I'm writing MVC programs into .NET Core, and then gradually I also start learning the React or Angular, and then I also start writing my front end on the Angular framework, right? While writing my backend with C sharp, and then exploring my skills of writing the stored procedures to handle the databases, right? So gradually over a period of time, I will turn myself into a full stack developer. So I think if you are not a full stack developer as a fresher in the beginning, there are opportunities. It's not like there are not opportunities, but full stack developer is something like who is going to do almost so many things together. The number of resources are less, and that is why the companies are targeting that the person will also write the UI UX part, the person will also write the server side part, he would be knowing about the databases. So almost one person can do a job of two or sometimes three, depends, right? So it is always a niche skill having a full stack, but uh, there is a scope of non full stack people also. It's not like that.
Yeah, thank you, Satish, sir, for sharing your experience around this. I think we have done with many questions for today's session. So it's about to wrap up the session today. There is a one more question I'm just going to ask here. Most probably it's the last question I'm asking to. Like, what are the day-to-day roles and responsibility of a developers? Especially, it is I think it is around the fresher after getting hired. What can be? You can say here. Does he involved completely in coding? Does he involved in planning? I think uh, mm, he's asking about around those things.
So, Shailendra, the point is, as a fresher, first of all, we need to have a very open mind, because whatever is happening in the organization is a learning, right? So, whether the moment when I enter into the organization as a developer, or especially as a fresher, so having a correct collaboration and connect with the people, how to respond or react or ask specific departments people and interacting with them, then then definitely coding is one of the aspect. But knowing about the project, understanding about the culture of you know uh, uh, the client, the company. Like, let me just take you a very small example. uh, we as an Indian, we always grow in a culture of sir, ma'am, respect. Like I can see here, everyone is talking about Satish sir, right? And I'm
Hmm.
just telling you that when I talk to my co-founder, CEO of company, I tell him Manish, right? So why it is? Because nobody's sir or nobody's ma'am. Very simple for me. And this is and when I have joined this organization, it was a sort of culture shift, right? Because it comes from within. We have been trained from our childhood that the elder or the senior or the boss needs to be called with this language, with sir or ma'am. And but the fact is, the learning of culture is one of the important aspects when you enter into the organization. That is a one learning, and that will happen on every moment actually, right? Apart from that, coding, you are definitely going to learn. Project, the technology, you need to learn continuously. So you should be always into the learning mode, whatever is coming to you. and that will be, you need to part of Scrum meetings, you need to part of requirement gathering, you may need to part of writing a code, or understanding the existing classes, or writing the test cases, or executing the program, or publishing the project, or what not actually, so just learning from morning to evening, that should be the day-to-day roles and responsibilities, especially at the fresher stage, what I believe.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right. So thank you, Shar, for sharing your the take on this one. I hope what are the common question we having we already took over there, and I really appreciate the everyone views. What are the question we raised today? You openly share your experience or your view on each question. I really appreciate, and even in future also we having the such panel discussion. Hopefully we will meet in future as well. So thank you everyone for joining this session. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It was a great discussion.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tushar.
Shailendra.
Thank you, Seema.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Bhavna. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
thank you. Bye.
Yep, bye.
Bye.